Good evening, afternoon, morning, nighttime, whenever you may be watching this. Welcome to the 2019-2020 Rivercrest Sports Banquet. Although we can't be together tonight, we as a coaching staff at Rivercrest ISD wanted to take this opportunity to honor and to celebrate the student athletes here at Rivercrest for their hard work, dedication, and the success this season. This message will look a little different than in years past as we face these uncertain times, but it is important that we shine light on the great accomplishments of this year's teams. These student athletes dedicate their time before and after school, on weekends, and in holidays to compete in athletic activities to represent Rivercrest in a positive way in both the classroom and on the playing field. It is an honor and a privilege to be a Rivercrest Rebel. And to these young men and women, I want to say thank you for the positive way that you represent our school and our community. Before we begin with the awards, I'd like to say thank you to some deserving groups of people. First off, our coaching staff. Justin Milton, Aaron Stansel, Caitlin James, Kara Crawford, Leitner Kennedy, Quincy English, Rick Connett, Landon Rackley, and Destry Nolan. These coaches work countless hours at practices, games, meets, tournaments, and much more. We as Rivercrest are very blessed to have a coaching staff here every day with the mindset to work hard, love our kids, and do what is right for our school district. This coaching staff has been great, year in and year out. And working with a tremendous staff like this is what makes this profession great. On behalf of the coaching staff, I want to say thank you to our school board, booster club, administration, teachers, security, support staff, chain gang, bookkeepers, announcers, community, and supporting parents. It is a true blessing to have so many groups of people who are willing to lend a helping hand with the same mindset that we all want what is best for our student athletes and for Rivercrest. Let's give those groups of people a round of applause. At this time, I'd like to ask Lexi Russian to come up and give our invocation.
Dear Lord, first off, I would like to thank you for leading me during my years as a student athlete, along with all of my teammates and coaches. Please watch over all of us and help the ones who are sick or need guidance during these trying times. Give us all strength to do as we should in your name. Amen.
With this being my first season as the Lady Rebel volleyball coach, I had the honor and joy of working with some of the best girls that Rivercrest has to offer. And these girls started on August 1st and worked their tails off. Those practices for volleyball are not an easy practice to go to after you've had 2 months of summer vacation off. And so it's definitely a lot of work, a lot of conditioning, and a lot of hours that you have to put in order to get ready for those first few games. And so we just had some really awesome girls that came out and stepped up to the challenge and did great work. And so only selecting a few of them to receive some awards was a hard decision. But I know that each of them deserves something. And so whether or not you receive an award is not determining how you are as a person or how you are as an athlete, because each one of the girls in our volleyball program deserves something for their hard work and their determination and just the way that they work together. But with that being said, we do have 3 awards to give. For the first award, it's going to be our defense award. This girl, it's going to be no surprise that she receives it. She works hard day in and day out. She is an expert at the game of volleyball. She knows what to do. She knows how to tell other people what to do. And it just encourages her teammates, helps them fight through the struggles. She was named this year as our libero for the whole district. And so our defensive award goes to Maddie Lichtenwalter. The next award that we have is our offense award. And I could not pick just one lady to give this to, so I actually selected 2. So our first lady that is going to receive the offensive award is a girl that doesn't want all the attention. She doesn't want to be in the spotlight. She just wants to sit there and do what she needs to do for her team and then get out of the way. And so she is a quiet leader behind the scenes, but when she speaks up to tell people what they need to know, people are willing to listen. And so she stepped up this year for sure, tried out a new position, and learned some new skills so that she could become the best player that she needed to be for her team. And she was named to the second team all district for our district this year. And so our first offensive player is Lindsay Onchins. Our second offensive player, she had the brick stacked against her for sure. I remember at the beginning of the season sitting down with her and saying, look, kind of like, I don't know what we're really going to do with you right now. And so instead of taking that and complaining or finding excuses, she took it and she said, all right, I'm going to earn my spot and I'm going to show you what I can do. And my gosh, did she step out and do that. She proved us all wrong. She took on a position she never thought she would play before, and she not only did great at it, but she excelled and exceeded everyone's expectations. She was also named to the second team all district group, and so our second offensive player is Maxie Alford. The final award that I have to give is for our volleyball MVP. Again, we had kids stepping up all over the place doing things that they didn't think they were going to do. And this one for sure, I believe she played maybe 3-4 different positions before we finally got her set somewhere. She went from, just having her little spot last year to playing all the way around, taking charge of the court. She is by far one of the most encouraging people that I know. I've never heard her say a negative thing to another teammate or to an adult. She is respectful, and she came every day to work hard and to tell her teammates to work hard. And so we appreciated all the work that she did, and for stepping up and leading our team whenever we needed someone to do that, and just for being that encouraging person. So our volleyball MVP this year is Lexi Rushing.
Good afternoon, everyone. I wanted to recognize our 2019 cross-country team. This year we went to 5 or 6 pre-district meets. It seemed like at nearly every one of them we were bringing away medals. And in order to medal, typically you have to be within the top 20 individuals. Now, sometimes it's even top 15 and sometimes it's even top 10. But we went to some meets that had a lot of really strong competition. The Mount Pleasant meet every year has over 1,000 runners, and we go up against some very big schools. The Lake Bob Sandlin meet, again, another awesome meet that we attend. All of them are great meets that give us a lot of good competition to prepare us for our ultimate goals, which is to do well enough at district to advance to regionals, and hopefully do well enough at regionals to advance to state. Also, I have to say that cross country is one of those sports that is geared to student athletes that have to be mentally tough, because you have to run many, many miles to practice. And sometimes practices consist of running early in the mornings before school starts, and sometimes they consist of running, late in the evenings, in the heat of the day, you name it. So it's a tough sport. And I just want to recognize our high school cross-country runners at this time and their accomplishments for this season. When we went to district, it was at McLeod, and we did well enough there for many of our runners to advance on to regionals. Here is a list of some of the ones that made it on to regionals. We had Enrique Ibarra. He is a senior. He placed third at district, and he advanced to regionals. We had Leonardo Ibarra. He is a sophomore. And he did well enough at district. He received 4th place, and he advanced on to regionals. We had Lauren Castle. She is also a sophomore, And she did well enough at district. She placed ninth, and she advanced to regionals. We had Jennifer Kelly, also another sophomore. She placed 10th at district and advanced to regionals. Selena Kelly placed 11th. She just missed out barely to make it to regionals. She is a freshman. So we have high hopes that next year she will be able to be in that top 10 spot. Matthew Taylor, he was had an injury, so he was unable to run. And Damian Davidson, he is our manager, very, very good manager, and he always goes above and beyond to help with our program and do whatever we need him to do. Now, to move on to regionals, we went to regionals and we did extremely well there. That was one of our goals. But then at regionals, we even surpassed one of our main goals. Besides regionals, we surpassed that, and we ended up advancing on to state, the highest level that you can be at for high school cross country. The ones that advanced on to state was Enrique Ibarra and Leonardo. They did well enough at regionals to make it there, and that is saying a lot, because you have to be in the top percentage of runners to be able to make it onto state, and there's a lot of runners at regionals. So we went to state. We did not make it in the top to get a medal, but I'm so proud of the effort that they gave. They went to state. They represented their school and community with pride and dignity, and did exceptionally well. And super proud of them for what they did, because it's an accomplishment just to make it there. So congratulations to Enrique and Leo for making it to state. And at this time, I would also like to announce the winners of our cross country awards this year. Our cross country Lady Rebel winner on the Lady Rebel cross country team side goes to Lauren Castle. Congratulations, you are a cross country winner for the ladies. And this year on the guys side, our cross country Rebel Award for outstanding cross country runner for the guys, we could not pick between just one. When you have two that make it to state, then we feel like they both deserve the award. So Enrique Ibarra and Leonardo Ibarra are our winners for the guys team. So congratulations and thank you so much, and we look forward to the future. And thanks again. God bless.
At this time, I'd like to take the opportunity to recognize this year's varsity football team, the 2019-2020 Rivercrest Rebel varsity football. Chris Randolph, Devin Womack, Shane Crabtree, Cameron English, Colby Towns, Zachariah Lane, Austin Piper, Billy Merritt, Eli Bivens, Zane Dees, Brody Moyer, Will Grider, Braden Patterson, Braden English, Ethan Taylor, Dalton Lovett, Atlee Roberts, Carson Franks, Carson Whitley, Alexis Barrientos, Vince Ushery, Levi Stinson, Caleb Hall, Noah Altall, Evan Proviance, Donnie Bragansky, Pedro Franco, Carson Dameron, Cole Carson, and Jaden Williams. This year was a tremendous year. Going into the year, we felt like we were going to have a good team. We knew we had a lot of key returning starters and key positions. We had depth in spots, which is always important at our level. We knew that if we took care of our business, that we would be in a great position to make another good playoff run, and that's exactly what we did. We had good team chemistry. These guys, they really bonded as brothers. You could see them spending a lot of time together on and off the field, in the weight room and at home and going out to eat and that kind of thing. And then we just kept preaching, work hard and good things will go your way. We had a few things bounce against us in a tough tough district game to Wolf City. Didn't catch all the breaks. Everything went their way, and so we suffered a loss. But we learned from that. We grew from it to continue to work hard and do things right. And we got hot, and ultimately it led to us to being 11-2, the co-district champions. And then staying on that hot playoff run, we defeated Tom Bean in the bi-district round to be bi-district champions. And then in probably one of the most exciting games I've ever coached in, defeating De Leon. After being down at halftime, being able to come back and overcome that adversity just speaks volumes about the type of mentality that our student athletes and these football players have. And so that was a big win for us, beating De Leon in the area around to be area champions. And then we were defeated by a really tough San Saba team, one of the top-ranked teams in the state in the regional semifinals. But again, regional semifinals for only the second time in school history, which is unbelievable. Only the second time in school history to win 11 ball games. Just all really great accomplishments from this year's football team. I got some guys I want to recognize here, the all-district awards from this year's team. Honorable mention, Shane Crabtree at running back. Honorable mention, Pedro Franco, offensive line. Honorable mention, Alexis Barrientos, offensive line. And honorable mention, Vince Ushery at linebacker. Our second team offense was Colby Towns, tight end, Jaden Williams, offensive line, and Zachariah Lane at receiver. Our second team defense was Carson Whitley, defensive line, Carson Franks, defensive end, and Brody Moyer, defensive back. First team offense, Cole Carson, offensive line, Evan Proviance, offensive line, Braden English, wide receiver. First team defense, Atlee Roberts, defensive end, Carson Dameron, linebacker, Shane Crabtree, defensive back, Braden English, defensive back, Cole Carson, defensive line. The newcomer of the year was Billy Merritt, and the unanimous district MVP was Devin Womack. Those were all some really great accomplishments from guys who very well deserved it through the hard work that they put in and their play that they displayed each and every Friday night. I've got some team awards here that I'm going to give out. The first one here is our outstanding offensive lineman. This young man really made a huge jump for us from his sophomore to junior year. He knew he had the desire to play at the next level. He came to us and really wanted to know what he needed to do to improve and get better. And he took that advice, he took that coaching, and he really ran with it. Very hard worker, improved at all phases of the game, very conscientious about the details, the X's and O's, the hand placement, the footwork, which are all important things on the offensive line. He's an early commit here to Arkansas, and we're very excited to have him back. This year's Outstanding Offensive Lineman Award goes to Cole Carson. Congratulations, Cole. The Outstanding Defensive Lineman is another young man. Very excited to have him back this next year. He is a great athlete and also a tremendous young man as well. Just great work ethic, and just one word that always comes to mind when I think of him is just relentless with the way that he plays the game. He was our team leader in tackles for a loss. He was an all-district defensive end. He had 60 total tackles on the year. And like I said, just great attitude, relentless player. This year's outstanding defensive lineman goes to Atlee Roberts. Congratulations, Atlee. The last awards here that I have here going to be grouped together for one player. He's a 4-year starter for us. Tremendous player. Took on a role these last 2 years at quarterback was something that he really had to grow into. We asked him to play a different position this year as a senior, going to strong safety, moving from middle linebacker. We just felt like that was a way that he could really impact our team, and he took it all in stride and took, same thing. Took coaching and worked on the details of the game. I was just really impressed to see him be able to move positions like that and lead our team offensively and defensively. On the year, he had over 1,300 yards passing, over 2,100 yards rushing, and 46 touchdowns. He led our team with 106 tackles. He's a 4-year varsity starter. He owns 20 school records. And, when we needed a big play, we knew that he would be there to make that play for us. But I think the biggest thing that this young man did for us was he led by example. You knew that with him, when you step on that practice field or you step on that game field, he was going to give 110% all the time. He was all about winning. He was all about working hard and doing the things that he needed to do to put our team and put himself in a position to be successful. I'm very pleased to announce that this year's special teams, defensive, offensive, and overall MVP go to Devin Womack. Congratulations, Devin. That wraps up my speech here on the football team and the varsity football. And I just want to say again how proud I am of you guys. I wish I was here getting to do this in person. This is unprecedented times that we're going through. But just remember to keep working hard. We will be back, and Rebel football will get rolling again. I look forward to seeing you guys. Can't wait to get to see you again, you seniors. We'll see each other. You've got my number. Let's talk. And I just want to say again how proud I am of you. If you ever need anything from me, you know who to call. Thank you.
Good evening. I hope everybody's being safe and staying healthy. We had a great basketball season this year, and I'd like to thank everybody that played a role in it. I'm not going to get into calling out names because I don't want to leave anybody out. Just know that we really appreciate it. And if you kept a book, you cooked some food, you helped keep the gate, you worked concession stand, whatever you did to help us out, we really appreciate the support. We thank you guys. Our junior high teams this year were led by Coach Rackley and Coach Kennedy. Both groups had good seasons, and we're really looking forward to working with those young men in the future. Our JV team again this year was led by Coach Nolan. And as always, he did a great job with them, and they finished the district as one of the best teams in the district. And we're also looking forward to working with those young men in the future. Our varsity basketball team this season had the best season they've had around here in over a decade. These young men came together as a team and family early in the season, and they were a lot of fun to watch. I mean, sitting back and watching these guys grow was an awesome experience this year. Some of their accomplishments this season included winning the silver tournament bracket at the Spring Hill tournament, winning the Rivercrest tournament, and winning the bronze bracket championship at the Paris High tournament, playing amongst a lot bigger schools from higher classifications. We finished third in the district this year behind McLeod and Clarksville. They were both ranked in the top 15 in the state this year. We defeated Hawkins in the first round to win the by-district championship. In the second round, we defeated Wolf City in one of the best basketball games I've ever been a part of. Packed gym, a lot of fun, a little bit closer than I wanted it to be, but we came out with the victory. And like I say, it was a lot of fun. The next round, the quarterfinal round against number one ranked Martins Mill, was probably the best effort I've ever seen out of one of our basketball teams. And our kids went out there and they gave it everything they had for 4 quarters. It didn't end the way we wanted it to end. I feel like we should have won the game, but we fell a little short. But the effort they put out, I still don't have the words to describe what our kids went out and did that night. But I couldn't be more proud of them. At this point, I will introduce our varsity basketball team and our student assistants. Senior Shane Crabtree was first team All-District, All-Red River County, second team All-Red River Valley, and academic All-District. Senior Devin Womack was our district defensive MVP. He was second team All-Red River Valley. He was our All-Red River County Defensive Player of the Year, and he was academic All-District. Junior Damian Davidson was second team All-District and All-Red River County. Junior Braden English was first team All-District, first team All-Red River Valley, All-Red River County Sportsman of the Year, TABC All-Region, and academic All-District. Junior Zach Lane was first team All-District, first team All-Red River Valley, All-Red River County, and TABC All-Region. Junior Chris Randolph was District Honorable Mention and Academic All-District. Sophomore Cameron English was District Newcomer of the Year, Red River Valley Honorable Mention, Red River County Sophomore of the Year, and All-Academic and All-District. Darian Reeks was our District Sophomore of the Year in Red River Valley Honorable Mention. Our manager this year was Jaden Williams, and our filmer was Donnie Bergansky. Now I'll give out some of our individual awards. TABC Student Assistant of the Year goes to Jaden Williams. That guy, he came in a couple years ago and he helped us out. And I mean, he made our jobs a lot easier. He took care of all the laundry for us. Sometimes I had to run him out run him out of the gym at the end of the night because he wanted to stay and make sure he could get it all done. He's going to be hard to replace next year. We're going to miss Jaden. The next award I want to give out is a new one we're going to do this year. It's going to be our Most Improved Award. And it's going to go to a young man that everything that he does for our team doesn't show up in the stats. I mean, there's times when he has to defend one of the better offensive players on the other team. He's our best passer. And I mean, he just does a lot for us that, like I said, it doesn't show up in the stats. And, you know, he's just remembering him last year in games and in practice and seeing what he did this year where, I mean, he put in a lot of minutes. Damian Davidson is our most improved player. Our defensive MVP this year is the easy one. I could actually probably give all these awards to him, but the one that's most fitting is defense. Over the last 4 years, this kid done a lot for us. We're gonna miss him around here, but there's no doubt when another team had a really good offensive player, whether he was a 6'5" kid playing inside or a 5'10" guard on the perimeter, we wanted to put this kid on him. Our defensive MVP is Devin Womack. Our offensive MVP this year is going to be a co, and if I remember right, I think we coded between these two young men last year as well. And offense is not all they bring. They're good defenders. They hustle. They do a lot, but they are pretty consistent when it comes to scoring. Our offensive MVP goes to Braden English and Shane Crabtree. Mr. Basketball, again, just as I read through the names of these young men, like I say, I could put them down for any one of these awards. Any one of these kids could win it. And it's the same thing with Mr. Basketball this year. One of my best defenders, our leading scorer overall. He's going to go out there and he's going to get steals. He's a good passer. And probably the thing that impresses me the most about this young man is when he comes out of the game, which is not often, he's our biggest supporter on the bench. He gets everybody going. The bench is much better with him on there. I mean, we're better with him on the floor. We're better with him on the bench. Mr. Basketball this year is Zach Lane. I appreciate you guys. That's all I have.
This year's Lady Rebels basketball season was one where if you wanted to look at the win-loss record, you wouldn't see success. But if you knew what these young ladies did day in and day out and what they persevered through, you definitely know that it was a success. Our 7th and 8th grade, once again, had a great year. We take a lot of pride in our junior high program. We really stress fundamentals and want to see them grow. And they did a great job this year, and they were led by Coach Stansel and Coach Crawford, and appreciate all they do for our program. JV had Coach James leading the way. She came straight out of being the head volleyball coach. And then the very next day, went to the first JV basketball game, and just kind of hit the floor running. Had to pull several of the JV up to fill some voids on varsity, and she never knew who she was going to have sometimes till the day before because of the way the season went. And she did a great job of coaching up whoever she had. And that JV group grew by leaps and bounds, and they ended up finished district runner-up. And a lot of those girls didn't have a lot of playing time in junior high, but the work they put in this season, the way they grew, was great for our program. There's before we talk about the varsity, there's so many things that go into a basketball season that behind the scenes, I thank my wife and my kids. They travel a lot of miles to support the Lady Rebels, and they love them. And all the miles of concession stand food, they do it for me and for the team, and I'm so grateful for that. I'm very blessed. all the parents and family members that travel and support us in the good times and the bad, the administration, all the people that help out at home games, the people at the scores table, the booster club, the ladies that take money, the people that keep the facilities nice. We couldn't do it without you. Basketball, it's a great game, and as an individual you can grow, and as a team you can grow, and we couldn't do it with all the people that behind the scenes that make seasons successful. This year, going into the year, we had one starter returning. Had some role players from years past, people with no experience, and had more injuries this year than I've had my entire coaching career combined. But I'm not here to make excuses. I'm here to tell you that these 8 ladies that finished the year, that were unselfish and sacrificed and did all the things I asked for them, even when I was not in the best of mood. They did it, and they learned, and they're going to be greater for it. Kaylin Williams, Jennifer Kelly, Logan Huddleston, they would have thrived on JV, and that was my plan for them. But the way it worked out, they had to be reserves for us this year, and you never knew what we were going to ask of them. And sometimes they would practice and never get a break, and when they get to the game, they may not get as many minutes as they wanted, but they did it all without complaining, and luckily they have many years to come in our program. Our 2 managers this year, Riley Huddleston and Vivian Hines, did so much for me personally and for our program, getting practice ready, making sure everything's ready to go on away games, and just a very important piece of the puzzle for us. When you kind of get spoiled, I've been spoiled every year to have great managers, and this year was no different. Those 2 young ladies can do the work of 5 and don't complain, do it with a positive mindset. That's one thing I can tell you about the people in the program this year. The positivity they had taught me more than I probably ever could teach them. And I was very, very blessed with great managers. Katie Jane Ballard was injured this year, but she still filmed for us on away games and sang the national anthem before every home game. Her voice is beautiful. It really sets Rivercrest apart, having somebody like that as part of our program and being able to sing like that. Avery Martin, a freshman, helped us out in varsity volleyball this year, came into basketball and kind of was up in the air if she was even going to get to play with the medical condition that nobody could figure out for months. And not only did she get over that, but she started 85% of the games for us as a freshman, had really good numbers. Probably the highlight of the year for her. Clarksville game had a girl 6 inches taller than her. Big rivalry game, and Avery dominated the paint the entire game. She used her strength and her knowledge and her toughness to really be an important part of our program and team this year, and I can't wait to see what the future holds. Now I want to talk about our 4 seniors. Ashlyn Johnson, Maddie Lichtenwalter, both of them were role players last year. Came in, didn't really know exactly what their role would be, and the way they started shooting the 3, it was very, very easy to see that they're going to be shooters for us. Night in and night out, one of them was going to be hot, sometimes both hot, but they were smart enough to know to get the ball to the one that was hot or the one that had more space to get the shots up. It's great having 2 shooters, but it only works if they're not jealous of each other and they can coexist, and these 2 young ladies did. Both these girls, I believe, finished with the same amount of 3-pointers made by the end of the year, and not one time did I hear them ask or won't even know about stats. They were just there to play and do their best, and I'm grateful for that. Ashlyn was also one of our captains. Being a captain for me is something I don't take lightly. I'm going to hold them more accountable, make sure they take care of the locker room, and hopefully teach them about life. And Ashlyn was one of our captains this year and did a great job. So our co-offensive MVP for this year is going to be Ashlyn Johnson and Maddie Lichtenwalter. Defensive MVP is going to be Lexi Rushing. She hadn't played basketball since the 7th grade. She kind of needed the break between volleyball and softball from what the doctor said because of her back and things of that nature. And just the type of young lady she is, she'd be good at anything, and I knew she'd be great at basketball. When she's seen all the injuries we were having this year, at a football game at halftime in a playoff game, she said, "Coach, I'll come help you out." She showed up the next day, gave her a number. Within 2 weeks, she was starting for us, most consistent player on offense and defense. She could rebound the ball, get the ball to the outlet, hustle down the floor, never complain. It didn't matter what it was. If she picked up on things quick, and we're really going to miss the character she had and her work ethic and the way she could rebound for us. So Lexi will be our defensive MVP this year. Our point guard, Ferris Savage, is someone that we're going to have a tough time replacing. points, rebounds, steals, assists. She was the total package. She didn't want to be a point guard, but this year that's where we needed her, and that's what she was going to do. She was one of our captains this year, and she understood that her role was going to change. And even though she's not the most talkative person, that she could be a captain for us and should lead by example and do whatever we need her to do. I was tough on her, always have been. But at the end of the day, I was just wanting to get the most out of her, and she was a great point guard for us this year, and really, really excited that the younger girls got to watch her on the floor and know that it is possible when you work hard to be good. And the reason that she's going to be Miss Basketball is I really believe that no matter what, night in and night out, with the talent she had on offense and defense, she was the total package, and she's won a lot of individual awards this year, just like several others have, and I'll have that posted on Facebook. Two people that we couldn't have done this season without are Anna Guest and Amaya Jeffrey. Both girls were injured before the season even took off. Good-hearted, great kids, worked hard. Life threw them a curveball. Both of them, luckily, will get to return next year, hopefully, and be a part for us. But not one time did they complain. When it was easy for them to want to go home and get extra rest and not show up, they'd go straight to physical therapy, come back, travel with us. Many times we'd have to lift them up on the bus, off the bus, whatever. We always called them the crutch crew because we had more people on the bench with crutches than we had suited up to come off the bench for us. But even though they may feel like they didn't have a part because they didn't get to suit up, that's not the case. These young ladies were very important of our program. I'll wrap it up with this. Life's going to happen. It's going to happen. Life happened this season. Life happened this spring. Life's going to happen. It's not about what happens. It's how you respond to what happens. And I know what you persevered through this year. You're going to be great. Thanks.
Good afternoon. I'm here to recognize our Rivercrest Lady Rebel softball team of 2020. Our season got cut short, as you all know, and I feel like that our young ladies deserve recognition for the work that they put in, for the effort that they gave in the games that were played and in the practices, and for the preparation to begin district play. And these ladies, they truly come out with a goal, with a mission to show everyone that they were for real and that they were not to be taken lightly. We started off the season with some pre-district games at Rivercrest, and we did really well in those. We won those. And then we went to Chisholm to a tournament, and we walked away playing 500 ball in that one. And then we went to Bonham to another tournament. At that tournament, that was very stiff competition, just like the Chisholm tournament. And we ended up walking away with a winning record in that tournament. So when you talk about the caliber of teams that we played, the playing that we were doing was at a very high level for those tournaments, and to be as early on in the season as it was, I just was so proud of the girls, so proud of the things that they accomplished. And we were really looking forward to the future, what we were going to accomplish in district and the playoffs. So our season ended with a 10-win, 5-loss record, and that's was on the way to being, another good season. I want to say something to the seniors. We're going to miss you so much. We thank you so very much for all that you have done for our programs at Rivercrest, and for your hard work, not only, in sports, but in the classroom and everything that you represent. We thank you so much. Thank you for the memories that we've made these last 4 years, and the playoff memories will be ones that we will always cherish. And thank you for stepping up and doing your part and just helping to make these last 4 years just so memorable. And we know the sky's the limit for y'all. We know that your future is bright, and we can't wait to hear about all the success that you will have. To the underclassmen, we look forward to having you back again next year, and we hope you'll be ready to go to work when we can all be back together again and get ready to prepare for hopefully some more success. I want to call out our team roster and give each lady the recognition that they deserve. Okay, we'll start off Maxie Alford. She was one of our seniors. We had Lindsay Onchitz. She was also a senior. Oh, Maxie, she was outfielder. And Lindsay, she was a pitcher, and she also played first base. We had Farrah Savage, another senior. She was an outfielder as well. Lexi Rushing, another senior. She was a pitcher and a first baseman. Logan Huddleston, she was a freshman. She ended up being a utility player for us, and she also was a designated hitter for part of the season. We had Riley Huddleston, junior. She was an outfielder. We have Corey Mankins. She is a sophomore, shortstop. We have Mackenzie Walton. She's a junior, third baseman. Maddie Lichtenwalter, a senior outfielder. Avery Martin, she is a freshman catcher. Lauren Hardman was a sophomore utility player. We had Macy Childers, was a freshman, second baseman and pitcher. And we also had some wonderful managers. Senior Ashlyn Johnson, she's been with us this whole time, and we're going to miss her a lot. She has really done a lot for our program with her managing of the team, helping out, doing all the things that she was ever asked to do, and even more. She always goes above and beyond. And we also had 2 freshman managers this year, McKenna White and Vivian Hines, and we were very grateful to have them with us as well. Well, everyone, that's just a small recap of our season that we did get to have, and I thank you all so much for the memories that we were able to make, and look forward to the future. Thank you again, and God bless.
I'd like to talk a little bit about the baseball team of this spring. We did not get to play very much of our season. We finished at 3-2. I do want to say a few things about some of you guys. I want to thank the seniors, Brody, Kobe, and Devin. You guys have been with me for 4 years, and you've helped us change our expectations from trying to qualify for the playoffs to actually advancing to the playoffs. And with that being said, last season was great. We accomplished all our goals. We went 3 rounds deep. We had 7 starters coming back, and we were really excited about the season. And this year's team was coming together quickly. We had a good blend of seniors playing well and showing leadership. We had younger guys stepping into bigger roles like Kirk and Chris. And then we had some even younger guys like Zane stepping in and helping us as a catcher. So we had a lot of really good things going on. And we were able to move people around in different positions. And I was really excited about where we were going as a team. I really don't know what else to say other than thank you for your time, and I appreciate all your effort. And you 3 seniors, you're welcome back anytime. Thank you.
It is my privilege to announce the Lady Rebel Newcomer of the Year. This girl was selected, I believe she was selected unanimously. There was no doubt in our minds that she played a big role for all of the sports that she participated in this year. She is one of the hardest working kids that I know, and she puts the work in and day out just to make sure that she can be the best that she can absolutely be, and that she is doing what she needs to do to help her team. She has played key roles in all the sports that she's participated in. She is just a joy to coach, not only because she works hard, but because she has a good attitude. She's encouraging, she's a leader, and she just steps up in times when other people probably wouldn't. Not only is she a great athlete, but she's also an amazing student in the classroom. She works hard, she stays on top of her work, and she also wants to just excel there as well. So whatever she sets her mind to, she wants to work hard and to go after. So this year's newcomer of the year is Avery Martin.
I will be announcing the Newcomer of the Year award. To be eligible, you must be in your first year on the varsity level. This year we'll have 2 Newcomers of the Year. The first recipient played defensive tackle on our varsity football team. He adapted to our new defense really well and had an interception in a big playoff game versus De Leon. The first recipient for our Newcomer of the Year is Carson Whitley. The second recipient for this Newcomer of the Year is a young man that has loved basketball for as long as I have known. He adapted well to the speed of play on the varsity, and he also had to grow up in the area around basketball game against Wolf City when he hit 2 big free throws late in the game. The second Newcomer of the Year is Cameron English.
Hello everyone, I am here to introduce to you the winner of this year's Crystal Valenzuela Award. Crystal Valenzuela, the daughter of Juana Hasso Valenzuela of Bogota, was a member of Rivercrest class of 2003. Crystal was a beautiful young lady and was a friend to everyone. A favorite with her peers, she had a quiet demeanor and a vivacious personality. She was a member of the Student Council, National Honor Society, Pan American Student Forum, Youth for Christ, and served as an office assistant. She loved sports and participated in almost everything that was available at Rivercrest. She played basketball, her cross-country teams advanced to regionals, her softball team advanced several rounds in the playoffs, her golf team also qualified for regionals, and as an individual, she qualified for state in powerlifting. Her season in golf and softball were cut short as she died in a one-car accident on April the 15th of her senior year. She once said that the meaning of life was to do good, was to do real good. She did just that in her 18 short years. Because of her unbeatable spirit, we remember Crystal each year when we honor one female athlete with the Crystal Valenzuela Award. Tonight, this award goes to someone super deserving that has been an outstanding leader throughout all 4 years of her time at Rivercrest, has done well not only in sports but also in the classroom, and fits the description of the perfect individual for this award. And tonight, I'm proud to say that this award goes to Miss Lexi Rushing. Congratulations, Lexi.
Hey folks, I'm here to hand out the Gary McConnell Award. I would like to read a bit about Gary first. Gary McConnell was a 1971 graduate of Rivercrest High School, the son of the late Sam and Sammy McConnell of Bogota, and the brother of Melanie Klein of White House, Texas, and Ginger Foster, the retired student services coordinator at Rivercrest. Gary was quiet by nature but very intelligent. He was popular with students and teachers alike, and in addition to sports, belonged to the Student Council, Youth for Christ, and the yearbook staff. His classmates elected Gary class favorite, FHA Bow, and Mr. RHS. Gary played football throughout his high school years and was a true team player. Though not a naturally gifted athlete, Gary was a tough competitor who worked hard. He was also a fine Christian who led by example and served as a positive role model to his peers. Because of the admirable qualities he is remembered each year during this banquet. when a male athlete with a similar qualities is honored by receiving the Gary McConnell Award. The young man that's going to receive this award could have his name put into this reading everywhere Gary's name is, and it would read just the same. What I'm trying to get you to understand is that the young man that receives this award truly exemplifies what Gary McConnell stood for. Tonight, this award goes to Evan Pavines.
The next award up is the Fighting Lady Rebel Award. It's an award we give every year, and it looks at individuals as a whole, and looks at obstacles and what they persevered through, and what kind of character and things of that nature. So even if that player may not have been blessed with the most athletic ability or the fastest or the strongest, whatever it may be, this award looks at the person as a whole and what they're willing to bring to the program. This is an award that I wouldn't call it a most improved, because that's not what it is. It's talking about character and drive and grit and just something that we strive to see in our program, and someone that doesn't look to be a leader but becomes a leader with the way they carry themselves. This year's no different. This young lady changed positions in volleyball early on in the year and really come into her own. I was very, very impressed with the confidence she had on the floor. She didn't have to say a whole lot, but when she was feeling it, she was feeling it. She could put on a clinic on any given night when we needed to feed her the ball. Softball was no different. I know it was cut short because of the COVID-19, but really with what we saw, the work she put in off-season, what she did during volleyball, I really think her senior year of softball would have been special as well. I've had the honor of seeing her grow as an individual, the confidence grow, her ability to overcome things. She had some obstacles early on in her high school career that most people would have probably given up, but not her. And especially the spring of her junior year and the senior year, she was willing to do whatever it took in the weight room or in the track, doing stuff extra in the gym. And even though she had a knee injury and some hip stuff going on, she's the type of young lady that I would call the underdog. She's going to fly under the radar, but she's going to show up every day. She's going to work. She's not going to complain. She's not going to cause any issues. And at the end of the day, you're going to know she gave 110%. It's my pleasure to present the 2019-2020 Fighting Lady Rebel Award this year to Senior Lindsay Onchins.
At this time, I'd like to announce our Fighting Rebel Award. This award's going to go to a young man very deserving. He's a 4-year starter in football, basketball, baseball, and track. He was all-district in football, basketball, and baseball. He was a unanimous district MVP this year in football. He owns 20 overall school records in football. He was a key leader on all of the teams that he played on. Been a intricate part of some very special teams that we've had here at Rivercrest in the last few years. The 2 regional semifinal football teams, the regional quarterfinal basketball team, the regional quarterfinal baseball team. Just a lot of success that's taken place here in the last 4 years at Rivercrest High School. He's been right in the middle of all of it. He's the kind of kid that's going to go out every single day and compete. He refuses to lose, and he leads by example. You can always count on him to take care of business in the classroom and on the playing field. When it came time to compete, you knew that this guy was going to give you every single thing that he had every single day, all the time. I can't speak enough about the type of relentless effort that he continually gave and demanded of the people around him. When you think that all hope may be lost on a play or a game, this guy, he always had a little bit more to give, and there was always plays that he would make, a lot of times with talent, but most of the time with just overcoming and displaying a tremendous amount of effort that you can't put into kids. You can't coach them, and that's something that he has developed on his own. Devin, I can't tell you enough how thankful I am getting to coach you, from the 7th grade through the 12th grade. You and I, we've developed a bond that's unshakable. The legacy that you've left here at Rivercrest will never be forgotten. You're a tremendous player, a tremendous person, and I just want to thank you again for everything that you've done for me and for our school and for our teams and our sports programs. This year, our Fighting Rebel Award very deservingly goes to Devin Womack. Congratulations, Devin. Before I ask Evan Proviance to give the benediction, I just want to send one last message out to our student athletes and especially our seniors. My heart aches for you guys. All the things that we missed getting to do together this spring, the track meets, the tennis, the golf, the baseball, the softball, having this sports banquet in person. Just a lot of different memories and things that you didn't get to experience your senior year, and some of you as juniors and sophomores and freshmen, you'll have an opportunity, but we missed this one, and for that I'm sorry. I hope you can find comfort in the fact that your coaches, we care about you, we love you, and you're always going to be a Rivercrest Rebel. And although we didn't get to end this year the way that we would like to, just know that we're here for you. And take these experiences that you've learned through athletics, through coaching, through playing these sports, and apply them to your everyday life. There's nothing that makes a coach more happy just to see you out there being a productive citizen, being a good father, a good husband, a good wife, a good mother, and seeing a fellow Rivercrest Rebel out there doing things that are good in our community and in the world. And I just want to tell you again, I'm so sorry the way that things ended for you seniors, but take this in stride through coaching. Your coaches talk to you a lot about overcoming adversity. Well, here it is. This is adversity. You have to adapt and overcome and find ways to move forward and spread the positivity. Find things in your life that you can be positive about during these uncertain times. Spread that positivity, and I know you guys are going to do great things, and I look forward to seeing you at graduation. And now I'm going to hand it over to Evan Proviance for the benediction.
Please bow your heads for the benediction. Our Heavenly Father, we thank you for your many blessings that you have given us. Lord, we thank you for the memories that we were able to make with our friends, Lord, and we thank you so much for allowing us to cherish these moments in high school and through these athletic events that we will talk about for years to come. Lord, we thank you so much for our parents who made this possible with their endless support. And Lord, we thank you so much for our coaches who put in many hours, long days and long nights to make sure that we got to the point where we're at now. Our Heavenly Father, we just thank you so much for all that you've done for us. We thank you very much for keeping us safe, and we just ask that you keep that blessing upon us. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.